You ever notice that nothing is technically wrong, but something just feels off? You're sleeping but still tired. Your skin is reacting to things it never reacted to before. Never cared. You're more tense, but you don't know why. All up in here. You're doing all the healthy things but still not feeling your best. And nobody really tells you out loud that your body doesn't really break down loudly in your 30s and into your 40s. It breaks quietly. And sometimes the first sign is your body just starts filing complaints, like it's got a human resources. Your shoulders hurt for no reason. Your skin suddenly has loud opinions. You're tired but also wired but also irritated. Ask me how I know. It's like your body is saying we need a meeting. Can I get an amen? It starts with small shifts, more tension, more inflammation, slower recovery, and less tolerance for stress. And if you don't adjust your habits, those quiet shifts start stacking. Let me tell you real quick, this video is sponsored by FSA Store. And interestingly, some of the habits that I'm sharing today, they connect to things that I didn't even realize that I could use my FSA funds for. But we'll talk more about that in a minute, friend. Most health advice for women sounds like it was written for an alien in her 20s. Drink more water, go for a walk, get more sleep. Cute. But after 35, the game changes. Your nervous system changes, your skin changes, your recovery changes, your stress tolerance even changes. So the same habits, they just don't always work the same. So today I'm sharing my 6 underrated healthy habits that help to reset your body as you move through your 30s and beyond. Not extreme, not complicated, not trendy. Just smarter adjustments that help everything function better.
Dr. Nina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
So before we jump in, we don't want to keep YouTube getting the best of us with this algorithm. I need your help, and it's free. Oh, put that purse down. In the comments, I want you to let me know if you're in your reset era bag. Go ahead and type "I'm resetting quietly" or "Grown women adjust, not panic." All right, let's start with one that affects almost everything. Okay, as soon as I sat down, it wanted to start storming, but we ain't gonna let it rain on our parade. Point 1, stop rushing your body. You're keeping your cortisol elevated. One of the most underrated healthy habits after a certain age is learning to stop rushing your body, because rushing doesn't just affect your schedule, it affects your hormones. Every time you rush, your brain reads urgency. Urgency triggers cortisol, and cortisol tells your body you're under pressure. And when this happens to us repeatedly throughout the day, you stay in what we call low-grade stress mode. Not enough to notice, but enough to affect your body. This is when women start experiencing those tight shoulders, jaw clenching, shallow breathing, more skin sensitivity, more inflammation, belly just bloated for no reason, midday crashes, and trouble winding down at night and throughout the night. And here's the part most women don't realize. After 35, your body clears cortisol more slowly. So small moments of rushing, they stack. Okay, Cindy, I know you're gonna say you're not rushing, but you're rushing your shower, rushing your morning, rushing through your meals, and rushing bedtime. Your nervous system never hits reset. Some of us are doing everything fast. Fast shower, fast skincare, fast eating, just all of it. Even our relaxing is rushed. We're laying down scrolling like we're trying to complete our relaxation sessions quickly. Are you guilty of that? Go ahead and let me know down below. So instead of us feeling calm between tasks, you carry all that tension all day long. This is why slowing your transitions down is powerful. Not slowing down your whole life, just the moments in between. Pause before getting out of the car. Take one slow breath before eating. Slow down your skincare at night. Let your shoulders drop in the shower. Those tiny pauses signal your nervous system. We are not in danger. We are not being chased. We can settle. And when your nervous system finally settles, cortisol stabilizes. Inflammation drops, sleep improves. Your skin becomes less reactive and energy becomes more steady. This isn't about being slow. It's about breaking that stress loop that your body is stuck in. And most women just don't realize how much rushing is quietly draining them. Point 2 here. Hydrate your nervous system, not just drink more water. Here's another underrated habit past a certain age. Hydrating the nervous system and not just the body. Now, what you talking about, Dr. Nina? Come on. Because most women think that hydrating is just drinking water. But after a certain age, hydration affects energy, hormones, skin sensitivity, inflammation, brain function, and stress tolerance. And let me just say this. With all due respect, some of y'all's pee is orange. It's orange. It's not even... Have you ever looked at the levels of urine? Orange. You ain't drinking no water. You're not hydrating. You're not getting hydrating foods. And don't be telling me you love drinking water and you ain't been drinking it. And not even taking in hydration throughout the day. Stop. No more excuses. I'm in your bushes. As we get older, our bodies become less efficient with fluid balance. You don't hold hydration well. Your body absorbs it slower. And even mild dehydration starts affecting you more. And this is why you might notice the morning fatigue, headaches, brain fog, dry skin, more irritation, and more sensitivity to stress. And most women are mildly dehydrated without even realizing it. But the biggest issue isn't just how much you drink. It's when you drink. Look, baby, if the first thing you consuming is that big cup of coffee, you're starting your day with stimulation instead of hydration. you're starting with violence. And this increases cortisol, and that compounds the stress response that we just discussed. And this is why one of the best reset habits after 35 is hydrate before stimulation. Water before coffee and water before violence. And listen, your girl loves coffee. I'm sipping on a protein coffee right now. I ain't giving it up. But coffee before water is like literally starting your car and flooring it first. Your body is like, dang, we don't even have fuel yet. And I'm talking water before emails, water before scrolling. And I know you're over there talking about, I don't even drink coffee. Baby, you drinking emails. You doing something. We are resourced. We are supported. We are not in survival mode. Even small adjustments help. Drinking water within 15 minutes of waking. Slow sipping instead of chugging. Adding hydration earlier in the day instead of late at night. Because when your nervous system is hydrated, energy stabilizes, headaches decrease, skin looks a lot calmer, stress tolerance improves, afternoon crashes reduce. It's a small shift, but now small shifts matter even more. And most women just don't realize that hydration is naturally tied to your nervous system. And this is why I'm really cognizant and really started paying attention again to the things that I choose to use daily with my body. Anything that's supporting it. Because a lot of these reset habits, hydration, calming inflammation, managing irritation, they don't just come from what you eat or drink. They also come from how you support your skin and your body throughout the day. And I realized I was already using products for things like breakouts, irritation, dryness, and even friction. But I didn't realize a lot of them were actually eligible through my FSA. And this portion of the video is sponsored by FSA Store. Now, if you have an FSA or a HSA, you can actually use those funds on a wide range of health-related items. And I've been browsing through FSAstore.com/Dr. Nina. And you'll also see a QR code on the screen here. You can scan that and go directly there. The items I've been using fit directly into the reset habits that we've been talking about today. For example, I've been using the Magic Molecule Hypochlorous Acid Spray, especially when my skin gets to feeling irritated. I've been seeing others of you saying you use it too. That's after workouts, after sweating, or even long days. It's a gentle way to manage surface bacteria without over-cleansing or stripping the skin. You know I'm all about that. And y'all know I love my targeted benzoyl peroxide washes, especially Panoxyl Acne Foaming Wash. Been using it for years. Check the receipts. And those are for areas that tend to break out more all over my body, including cleansing of the pits, which cuts down on a lot of the scent there, like shoulders, back, and areas with friction, instead of treating everything on my body the same. And Panoxyl also has an acne banishing body spray. Look at them. And that's helpful for harder to reach areas. Instead of aggressively scrubbing, you can apply it more strategically. And for early breakouts, I'm also loving the Panoxyl Daytime Invisible Patches, but these have salicylic acid in them. Grown woman style, right? They're designed to absorb impurities and helping to unclog pores while supporting healing, which makes them so useful for targeted treatment throughout the day. And for barrier protection, especially after showering or even after washing my face, I've been liking the Curing Meal Petroleum Jelly and Aquaphor Healing Ointment. And that really helps with dry, irritated skin and to protect it and to reduce friction in sensitive areas. Aquaphor Stick also works like a charm for my baby. These are things many of us already use in our routines, but being able to use FSA funds for them is helpful. And y'all, their store is so easy to browse and so easy to find almost anything you would like. And if you want to browse what's available, you can go to FSAstore.com/Dr. Nina, or go ahead and scan that QR code on the screen. Now, this next reset habit goes back to why our skin starts behaving so differently around this time. Point 3, stop over cleansing your skin. Baby, you disrupting that microbiome. One of the biggest mistakes that we can make at a certain age as women is actually over cleansing our skin. Because when your skin starts changing, breakouts, irritation, dryness, the instinct is often to wash more. Stronger cleansers, more scrubbing, more exfoliating, more drying products. But here's what most women don't realize. Your skin is not just skin, it's an ecosystem. Some of us are treating our skin like it did something wrong and like it needs to go to timeout or go get a switch off the tree. Okay, I'm taking it old school. Scrubbing, stripping, drying, repeat. And your skin is just trying to survive the routine, baby. It's just like, what we doing? You have a skin microbiome, a mix of good bacteria, oil, and protective lipids that keep the skin stable. When that microbiome is balanced, breakouts are less frequent. Skin is less reactive, healing is faster, and inflammation, it stays lower. But when you overclean, you strip the entire protective layer. And after 35 particularly, your body starts to produce less oil, and that happens naturally, which means you already have less protection to begin with. So now when you overclean, your barrier weakens. Your skin is losing moisture faster, your microbiome becomes unstable, and your skin becomes more reactive. And your body responds by producing more oil, it's triggering inflammation, it's overreacting to products, and it's breaking out way more easily. So you end up in this cycle: breakout, overclean, barrier damage, more breakouts. And the frustrating part is it feels like you're doing the right thing. You think you're keeping your skin clean, but you're actually keeping your skin unstable. That's why the reset habit after 35 is clean strategically, not aggressively. Target the areas that actually need treatment. Support your barrier immediately after showering. Avoid scrubbing everything the same way. Fortunately, but unfortunately, your body needs different areas of love. Focus on calming instead of stripping. Because at this age, your body is not responding to force. It responds to balance. And if you don't stop, it's going to respond with violence. And once you stabilize your barrier, you'll often see fewer breakouts, less irritation, and more consistent skin, and more predictable skin without actually doing more. Point 4, stop sitting in stress. Your body holds tension physically. Here's something that becomes much more important for us. Your body is learning to hold stress physically. You ever notice that you're sitting there, your shoulders are up? Here, baby, they high, and your jaw is just tight and clenching, and you didn't even realize it. Your body has literally been bracing for impact all day, not just emotionally, but mentally. And sometimes I do this so much with tension that I end up with a headache. No lie. And I'm talking physically, in your shoulders, in your neck, in your jaw, in your hips, and then spread into that lower back. And the tricky part is you don't always notice it. You just feel tight, tired, stiff, heavy with low energy. And you assume that you need more rest. And a lot of times you don't need more rest, you need release. Because when you sit in stress for hours, I'm talking working, driving, scrolling, thinking, your muscles stay slightly contracted. That reduces circulation. It increases inflammation. It signals tension to your nervous system. And it keeps your body in a mild stress response. Over time, this shows up as afternoon fatigue, head tension, tight shoulders, jaw clenching, poor sleep, and body soreness without workouts. So the reset habit is micro releases throughout the day. Not a full workout, not even stretching for over 20 minutes. Just small physical resets. And honestly, small mental escapes too. This can look like sitting in your car for at least 60 seconds before you get out. Standing in the kitchen and rolling your shoulders while your air fryer is running. Taking 3 slow breaths before answering a text. Walking to the bathroom without your phone. Some of y'all always on. Letting your shoulders drop in the shower. Unclenching your jaw while you're working. Looking out the window instead of scrolling for a minute. Stretching your neck while your coffee brews. And stepping outside for 30 seconds just to get some fresh air. These tiny moments interrupt the stress loop. They tell your body you're not bracing. We're not under pressure. We can release. And when your body releases, circulation improves, fatigue decreases, inflammation lowers, sleep improves, and energy stabilizes. These are small moments, but small resets have a big impact. And most women just don't realize that they're holding stress all day without releasing it. And that's why a pin can drop and you blow up. Point 5, stop waiting until you're exhausted to recover. One of the biggest shifts past a certain age is that your body doesn't recover the same way. At our earlier ages, we could push through fatigue, sleep it off, even wake up fine. But after 35, recovery has to be intentional, not reactive. Because now when you push through exhaustion, if you don't sit down, something will set you down. What happens is cortisol stays elevated. Inflammation builds, sleep quality drops, energy becomes inconsistent, and your body just takes longer to bounce back. A lot of women don't realize that they only recover after they crash. Oh, I just called you. I just called you to the carpet. Sure did. And by then, your nervous system is already overloaded. So instead of waiting until you're exhausted, the reset habit is micro recovery before the crash. This looks like sitting down before you feel drained, hydrating before the headache, stretching before the stiffness, breathing before you're overwhelmed, and pausing before your patience runs out. You're catching your body before it goes into survival mode. Because once our bodies hit that point, your sleep is worse, your stress tolerance is gone, and everybody can get it. Your energy becomes unpredictable, and your body holds more inflammation. And after 35, that cycle is harder to reverse. So instead, you build recovery into your day. Small resets between tasks, short pauses between transitions, and moments of stillness before the next demand. That keeps your nervous system regulated, instead of constantly trying to pull yourself back from burnout. And here's the part we don't talk about enough. Sometimes the biggest threat to your recovery is other people's expectations. And sometimes the pressure isn't even loud. It's just subtle. The expectation that you're always available, always helpful, always pushing through. And your body is quietly screaming, we need a break. The pressure to keep going, to do more, to push through, to be helpful. All the things that we're taught and socialized to do, to not seem lazy. So you ignore your body because you don't want to disappoint someone. But after 35, your body stops negotiating, boo. You can't override exhaustion in the same way. You can't push through indefinitely, and you can't recover overnight like before. So part of this reset is allowing yourself to pause even when others don't understand it, not answering immediately, not volunteering for everything, not pushing past your limits, and not explaining every moment of rest. Because recovery isn't laziness, it's maintenance. And the women who function the best after 35, they're not the ones doing the most. first. They're the ones protecting their energy on purpose. And that's one of the most underrated habits of all. Point number 6, stop ignoring low-grade body signals. One of the most underrated healthy habits after 35 is paying attention to low-grade body signals before they become some real problems. Because after a certain age, your body rarely jumps straight into a major issue. It whispers at you first. It's not dramatic, it's just things feel slightly harder. They even feel slightly heavier, more irritating. And those little slightly moments, they add up. More tired, more inflamed, more reactive, more sensitive, and more overwhelmed. And it's easy to ignore, especially when you don't feel like it's super severe. But these low-grade signals are your body saying something needs adjustment. And when you ignore them, they stack. Mild fatigue becomes burnout. Mild tension becomes headaches. Mild irritation becomes breakouts. Mild stress becomes poor sleep. And mild dehydration becomes brain fog. And I'm tired of being foggy. This is why one of the most powerful habits is to respond early. Not dramatically, just intentionally. Drink water when you first feel sluggish. Stretch when you first feel tight. Pause when you first feel overwhelmed. Rest when you first feel drained. Adjust your routine when something feels off. Because after 35, prevention becomes more powerful than recovery. Your body responds better to small adjustments early, instead of having those big fixes later, which usually turn into medications, other things, and even hospitalizations. This is also why these habits work together. You slow your transitions. You hydrate your nervous system. You protect your skin barrier. You release tension. You recover before exhaustion. And you listen to early signals. Now your body stays more stable instead of trying to constantly catch up. And baby, that's really the goal after a certain age. Not perfection, not extremes. Just staying in balance before things spiral out of control. Cause we ain't got time. Y'all, these are the type of habits that don't look dramatic, but they change how your body functions. And when you do these things, your body isn't constantly trying to catch up. It's supported. And that's really the shift after 35. It's not about doing more, but being more intentional. If you're in your reset bag, go ahead and comment reset or quiet reset, real results. And if you want to check out the items that I mentioned earlier or some of your own, go to fsastore.com/Dr. Nina or scan the QR code on the screen. All right, y'all, make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it. I know you know somebody, and subscribe. Thanks so much for being here. Dr. Nina signing out. Peace.